Welcome back, folks. Over here at my brother-in-law's house, getting ready to do dig a septic tank on this shed that we're turning into an Airbnb slash apartment. You can use it for either one. Let's go inside here and I'll show you around. So we did electrical and water with PEX and ran that around. He bought a little window unit AC. I'm gonna use that. That's 110. And we did a bunch of outlets, TV outlet. Bunch of outlets over here, of course, bathroom right here. Got a stub out there for a sink, toilet right there, of course, tub with the insert. All that's plumbed in, ready to go. Got all the drain lines hooked up underneath. We're going to tie into those today. On the side over here, got a stub out here for a sink, so there'll be a sink here, a little table with a microwave. Of course, water heater goes right there. So just like a little studio apartment setup here, which would be real nice. And of course a couple lights right there and right there. Of course a fan light combo in the bathroom there. So yeah, just a nice little setup. This is one of those sheds that you would just buy and then they just come and set it up on your property. So you kind of want to keep it like a shed though, so we left this roll up door on there and just made a little area right here. So in case the people that are staying here or whatever, they can just come out here and enjoy the outside. And of course you can roll down the door when no one's in it and lock it up real secure. So, but yeah, over here we're going to be tying into this plumbing right here like I was saying. We came out right here. So my 4-inch pipes right there, tied into the shower, brought it over to the toilet. Now we're swinging out this way to pick up the sink, which is actually right here. We're going to drop down right here, come out, and then go straight that way first, everything. All right, let's get started. Okay, we got our fittings together right there. We're gonna move the machine over here and dig going downhill. Let's move over. Well, we got our next section of pipe in there, but we're having a problem with the ground. The ground is dropping too fast, so our pipe is starting to come out of the ground too much. That's where it needs to be at as far as the fall. So what we're going to do is come right here, put a 90 and just drop it to where it's deep enough. All right, got all this backfilled right here. I'll come back up here later when I'm done with everything else and grade it out. Make it look better. But right here, I gotta go down again with my pipe. Once I get that done, then I'll come over here and put the pipe, or excuse me, the tank. And then behind the machine, I'll put the field lines. But that'll be another day. I gotta go to work today, so I'll do that on Friday. But looking good though. Okay, I'm digging away already here on Friday, and I don't know why, but my volume's not working on my camera today. I might have hit wrong button or something. But anyway, no sound here for a little bit. But right here, I'm just digging out the next section of pipe that's going to go into the tank. And I just want to make sure it's to the right depth, so when it does go into the tank, it's already set right. So I'm just checking it right here. And it's good. Good deal. All right, let's go up here and get the tank. Okay, got this tank in the ground, got it level like I want it, and now I'm gonna go ahead and connect the pipe to it and turn the water on so it can be filling it up. Can you hear the water going into the tank? Well, you could have if my sound was on, like I said. For some reason it's not on today when I was recording. But anyway, the water is going in there. So anyway, right down here, you can see the hardy board that I'm putting around the tank. I'm gonna do that all the way around. And there is a piece on the bottom. That way the moisture from the ground won't rust out that cage around that tank. Anyway, I'm gonna let this water fill up the tank. And then tomorrow I'll come in here and continue digging for the field lines. All right. Tank's all filled up with water, as you can see there. Okay, so right here I fixed that pipe. What happened was the tank settled right there with the water in it, and it broke off my little fitting right there. So took that pipe out, dug it just a little bit deeper, about an inch or so, and then re-glued it. So it has a little bit more fall right there, but it'll be all right. It's got a good connection. All right, let's backfill this. Putting dirt there, and it basically filled in over here a little bit before I got that board in there. But I got down in there and fixed it. But now I'm ready. Okay, let's backfill it. got that all done. As far as backfilling that side of it, got the tank backfilled around as far as I want to get it, because now I can get over here. I got a little shelf now, so now I can work on putting the pipe on this side, and I'll set my laser up and get ready to start putting the field lines in. Okay, got the head section done coming out of the tank there. Got the first section in there. Had to bury it a little bit so we could walk on it. I really needed an 18-inch bucket, not a 24-inch bucket. But anyway, all I had was a 24. Anyway, so we're making it work. So we're kind of putting the pipe in, bury it as we go. So, all right, let's keep going. All right, now it's time to backfill this whole thing. I'll give you a better view of it. Got 60 feet of field lines here. I think that'll be good for a 300-gallon tank. I basically figured it like a third of 1,000, you know. So anyway, that is how it's gonna look. All right, let's get backfilling. Alrighty, got this project all done. To show you one more walk around of it. So yeah, this is going to be a studio apartment, like I was saying. Little recap: sink, microwave, of course, water heater right there, window unit AC. So this would be nice. Bed would be right here. You can wake up, look out these nice windows and see the lake down there. That'd be real cool. Then over here, of course, the bathroom, tub, toilet, sink, real nice. And so yeah, this would be a nice little apartment for these guys to rent out. Then down here, got everything done. Everything's backfilled and got it back to how it was before I got here. So, which is how I always try to leave it, not a mess. So yeah, I packed the tank back real lightly, as you saw. I figured that'd be good. Don't want to smash it. But anyway, it'll all settle. But yeah, this all looks really good. I've been over here about probably 8 weeks doing all this, you know, the power and water lines and the plumbing, of course, the tub, and of course now doing all the septic tank stuff. So it took quite a bit of time to do this, but I got this done now. Now I'm going to go back over to my place and start working on, I'm going to be building a small home on my property, and so I look forward to that. All right, I'm going to wrap this video up right here. Thanks for watching.